Hola amigos, soy Jane y esto es Fincarte. Bienvenidos. I've got some weeding to do today, so I'm hoping you can keep me company. Yeah. We have 3 cockerels. Now cockerels are noisy anyway, but extra special noisy when there's more than one. So there might be a bit of cockerel noise. I haven't been in the garden for a while, simply because it's been wet. But there is quite a few weeds come up. I don't mind a few weeds. You know, they're not really an issue, but when the plants are very small, then they can be overwhelmed by the weeds, so you got to do something about it. I don't know if you can see there, but there's a line sort of along the horizon there of mist. It's rolling in across the valley from the river. The big river here is the Guadiana, and it's actually quite some way away, but the mist sweeps down through the valley, and we can start off a really nice bright sunny day, and then the mist descends, and yeah, Steve's working, doing stuff. So maybe lots of background noise for this video, but we'll see. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I wanted to talk about something that occurred to me the other day. I have a number of viewers who occasionally make comments such as, I would love to do what you're doing, but we're not in a position to do that. So I began to think about it. I mean, we only made the move here in our 50s. For most of our lives, we didn't live a life like this. And we were very much more not connected to the planet and not really connected to the source of our food, and yeah, disconnected really is the word. So anyway, I thought about ways in which people who would love a lifestyle like this could actually, could actually have a lifestyle that is more connected to the planet. So I made some notes. Okay, there are 7 ways. I'm sure even if you just did one of them, I mean, maybe you live in the city or in an apartment, so you don't have any outside space. Maybe you have a very busy life with work and children and family and commitments and things that just makes doing this sort of thing difficult. There are some ways that I hope you could think about doing. Okay, the first one has got to be easy. It's go outside more, in whatever weather. I mean, really, even if it's raining or snowing, I mean, obviously not in the middle of a huge storm, but even if it's raining or cold or drizzly, dress appropriately and go outside. When we first came here, we lived in a yurt while we did the house up to make it livable. And it was really a huge surprise how suddenly connected we were to the weather and what was going on outside, because obviously just between us and the outside was basically a yurt is a tent, and if it was windy we knew about it. If it rained, even the slightest bit of rain, we knew about it. When the sun came up in the morning, when the sun went down at night, we were just outside most of the time, and even when we were inside, we were only inside a tent. We actually became very, very connected to what was going on in the environment, and that was kind of cool. When we moved into the house, we felt a little bit more removed from that sort of thing, but the windows that we had at that time rattled when the wind blew, so we still kind of knew what the weather was doing outside. Now, they fitted new windows. We had new windows fitted just towards the end of last year, and now it could be blowing a gale and we don't really hear it, which is strange. But for most of our lives, we were living inside a house, so it was like that. So I would suggest just go outside more. That is a really good start. Okay, number 2, follow the weather with tasks. What I mean by that is, even if you don't have solar power, look at the weather forecast and say, okay, well, tomorrow's going to be a sunny day or a dry and windy day. It's a perfect day for doing a washing. Arrange your tasks according to the weather. Well, I suppose you can always organize your outdoor trips according to the weather and the weather forecast. Grow something to eat. Okay, now I already said you might not have a garden. Can you get a window box? Grow herbs. That's the easiest thing to grow to eat in a window box. There is something very, very magical about eating something you've grown yourself. It's different from growing flowers. It really is. If you grow flowers, they are a feast for your eyes and they may smell wonderful. But if you're growing a vegetable, you're adding to that mix the taste. And also, I mean, the disappointment if they don't turn out. That's not something to be avoided. That is something to be experienced, because that again will put you more in touch with the precariousness of life in general. Number 4, go foraging. That might, if you live in a city, that might mean that you have to take a trip out to the countryside. I suppose you could visit a city farm. There are city farms. There are farm shops. It's not foraging, really, but just get yourself out there closer. Oh! Get yourself closer to food. Even better if you can forage for it and pick up stuff for free. That always feels good. Red cabbage, green cabbage, cauliflower and Romanesco, lettuce, broccoli, spinach at the back, more broccoli, more broccoli, more spinach, more broccoli, more broccoli, More broccoli, spinach, broccoli, spinach, broccoli. Why so much broccoli? Well, we like broccoli, but also it freezes really, really well. Number 5, keep an animal. Look after an animal. Perhaps you're not allowed a pet. I mean, if you can have a pet, a cat or a dog, something like that, then yeah, you should do that. But if you can't, I don't know, get a bird table, get a bat box, an insect house on the outside of your wall of your house, something that will help you connect to nature a bit more, to the animals and the different forms of life that inhabit the planet along with you. I mean, the benefits of these things, I'm hoping, will be self-evident, that I don't have to actually explain them all. Number 6, keep a journal. It could be a weather journal, a nature journal. It's the act of not just appreciating and looking at these things, but looking closely enough and carefully enough to be able to write something down. That's really what makes a difference. Finally, and my favourite, do a creative hobby. I wouldn't worry about how much creativity you've got. I don't think that's terribly important. And you don't have to show anybody your work. Do something creative for fun. If you're growing herbs on your windowsill, why not draw them? Paint them. Embroider them. Photograph them. I don't know. Sing to them. Play the piano for them. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Take your camera out into the countryside with you when you go foraging. You get the idea. Do something that brings you joy, that is creative, that has no other purpose than to uplift your soul. This is the life. Oh, it's better. Oh well, dream time over, back to work.